and girls. Yeah, it's morning. It's been a little while actually since I've done a video. I think it's been a couple of months now, to be perfectly honest with you. Life has just been absolutely insane. I've not touched that thing since July now, and it's September at the end of this week. I've not touched that. We've driven that quite a lot actually. To be fair to it, it was a good buy. We didn't need to do a lot with it. Kind of knew we didn't need to do a lot with it. And yeah, I mean, we've probably put a good 400-500 miles on it since we've owned it, and actually drives perfect. When I got it out of the garage this morning, I haven't said that, when I got it out of the garage this morning, it did not want to go into reverse, which it's an automatic transmission, so I'm really hoping that's not a failing valve body, but we shall see, we shall see. So I've got quite a few things to do. Basically, we are due to go to Kent Classics in both the cars, which is on the 11th of September. The beer festival's on the 10th actually. I might take you with me to that like I did last year. It's good fun. So yeah, that's on the 11th of September. I still haven't finished the doors. Like, I can't remember what I showed you of painting these doors. I don't think I've actually shown you any of the doors yet, because I'm pretty sure the last video I did was we painted the back of the car, which will give you a quick refresh. I mean, it's dirty, it's been sitting outside, but give you a quick refresh. We painted the back, we did all the window accents, we did the back valance. We haven't done the boot yet, obviously, and we did this side. I have since done the doors. Like I say, they're a bit dirty, they need a wash, but I have since done the doors, and I bought myself a new gun and some fancy stuff. So, and you can quite obviously see now, I'm not trying to blame all of the orange peel on the car, on the gun, because I'm no professional, but you can quite clearly see like the amount of orange peel that's on that, and then compared to this. I mean, again, this isn't by no means perfect, but it's 10 times better than that. And I think, to be honest, that just comes down to the fact that I went and bought myself a better gun. I went and got so this was the gun I was originally using. This whole Clark thing that came free, or I think it might be SGS, came free with my compressor. And it always did alright, to be fair. HVLP gun, always did okay, but it was a 1.5mm nozzle, so probably a bit thick. I went and bought myself this Volumart, so it's still not exactly the top dollar gun, but I bought myself this, which is a much smaller nozzle, and it is a HVLP, I think, rather than LVLP rather than HVLP. So kind of it just sprays so much nicer, and it wasn't until I got this gun and started spraying with it that I realised just how bad that gun there really was. So essentially, we're working around sort of panel by panel, tarting the car up. Again, not trying to make it a show car. It's never going to be a show car. Equally, I don't ever want it to be that pristine that I'm scared to drive it in anger. You know, I want the car. The car is to get in and have a fuck about in it, basically. So I want it to look nice, but I don't want it to be like show car quality where I'm scared to drive it. So, or at least that's my excuse for my shit painting anyway. So I'm going to stop waffling because I've got loads to do. Basically, I want to try and get both the doors finished off. So they've had their coat of red. I now need to get the grey on the trims and on the insides of the doors. So I'm going to paint the inside of the doors grey as well to kind of match the inside of my door shuts, where I've done grey all the way until shuts. So that's the plan. I don't know how far I'm going to get today. I think I have just about got enough. I've got thinner there, I've got thinner there. Top tip, actually, when I'm using thinner to clean down my guns, I'm then putting the dirty thinner in the other tin, and then when you pour it out for a strainer to wash your guns down again afterwards, you get kind of two uses out of your thinner. That hardener's gone hard. I think I've got enough hardener. I've at least got enough hardener for one batch, and I've definitely got enough paint. So basically, I'm going to kind of see if I can get one door done and then see where we're at. It is a bank holiday Monday today, so the paint shop's not open. So once I run out, that's it. I can't go and get some more. So I can tomorrow, but tomorrow's another day, innit? So yeah, I want to try and get this done, and then we've got to have a look at the skim. So that's stalling. It's got a very low idle on it. I think it's probably just some carburetor adjustments. So we're gonna have a look at that, get under there, and just give it a once over. Because to be fair, we've literally brought it and driven it. I've not really even looked at it, not even dabbled with it since we brought it. So that's this afternoon's plan. But for first off, I want to try and get this door done. Which, for the third time I'm saying it, I'm not going to get done if I keep waffling, am I? So pop you in the corner, time lapse. Some funky music, away we go. door's all masked up. Giving it a good wipe down with a tack cloth. Mixing up my lovely metallic. And with a screwdriver, professional, you know. And we'll shoot some paint on this panel. I have actually only got, this was the last of my hardener in here. So, well, not the last of it, there was a tiny bit left, but there's not enough to do a new batch. So we will only be doing one door today, but one door is better than no doors. At least I can get the window back in this one once it's dry. So, pour it in the gun, throw a mask on, let's get painting. First coat on, pretty heavy first coat to be quite frank. Not got a lot left in the gun. I've kept just enough in there just to give it a whole over, because this is metallic, and so what I've learned, you don't lay metallic like you lay 2K or normal solid colour. You have to kind of, as someone told me, pretend you've got Parkinson's. I'm not sure how PC that is, but kind of pretend you've got Parkinson's as you do it, and that's how it spreads the flake out really nice in the paint. So I'm going to let that tack off for 20 minutes, and then I'm going to come back across and you know, I guess a good idea would just be have an absolute fucking skinful the night before, so you got the shakes from, you know, your hangover. That would work, I suppose. Anyway, I'm going to let it take off for 20 minutes, give it a final coat, and we'll see where we're at. Right, so, forgot to press play, or record on that last coat, but kind of saw the first coat, it's pretty much the same as the second coat. Anyway, gun's all washed out, there you go, I'll let that dry off, evap off, and it came out okay. I think it probably could have done with another coat, but like I said, I didn't actually have enough paint in the gun. But yeah, it came out alright. But kind of this bit was the bit that was the most important for me to look nice. Because the rest of the inside of the door, I'm not really worried about that. Looks pretty good. Hopefully it will settle down a little bit. And the fleck in it's kind of spread out as nice as I think I was probably going to get it as a complete amateur. There is one little spot in the middle there that's gone a bit funny. But the rest of it's not so bad, so I'm going to leave that. As you can see, the door is in a different position. I actually had to move it because I couldn't quite get a nice coat on there, so the inside of the door did touch the floor a little bit, but don't worry about that, you won't be able to see it. Whilst I let that dry, because I can't put it back on once it's wet, whilst I let that dry, we'll do some mechanical bits on this, shall we? So we need to, like I said, we need to have a look at the carb, see if we can get the idle just about right, and go from there. So I'm going to get some tools out. I'm going to go wash my arms and hands off because they're a bit sticky. And I'll get some tools out and we'll have a look, shall we? That off. Looks pretty clean in there, to be fair, which is always nice to see. Now, one thing we have noticed is the choke plate is not working at all. Well, it doesn't appear to be. So I don't know if that's a cable issue or a setup issue. Definitely doesn't look too clever. It's very loose. Okay, so we'll have to have a look at the choke plate on that, but we'll carry on a bit further, delve into it. It's really difficult to get to. It's like right under there, and I've got a bonnet stay on this side, and there's a battery on that side, and it's just not ideal. It's just not ideal. This end does look like someone's attempted to fit a new choke at some point. You can see all the choke linkage is all like brand sparkly new, but you can see it's all very wiggly, and the plates kind of don't really represent what the cable should be doing. Don't think. I mean, that's obviously all the way open. Let's pull the choke, see what happens. The choke lever is down here. Oh. Okay, that's not ideal, is it? Literally just pulled the choke handle off. So you can see choke handle came off. It moved the plates a bit, but not all the way. They're falling back down again. So I'm going to have a play around with this and see if I can't get it a bit tighter. I'm not going to video it because it's going to be really fiddly and really boring to watch. Catch you in a second. Right, the further I delve into this, the further it becomes extremely obvious why it wasn't working. So essentially, the choke cable kit is off of eBay or somewhere like that. It's not OEM. That was popped through this little hole here. Anyway, so I've taken all this off. I mean, we need to do something about that really. It's got a little C-clip on there, could do a washer behind it just to stop it from flopping around. This could do with tightening up a little bit, but the range of motion now that cable is off is actually okay. It's how it should be. The actual Weber side of things is not actually too bad. It's a little bit loose, but it's not too bad. I think, to be perfectly honest with you, at some point so yeah, at some point someone's had this all apart and tried to replace it and do whatever. Anyway, I've just taken, so obviously that little choke pin came clean off the end of the cable when I pulled it. It's become apparently obvious why. I don't know how you're going to see this, but it was super glued on. I don't know how you can see it. I might just be able to see it there. The cable's been poked in the end and it's got what looks like super glue on it. I mean, that's just not going to cut it, is it? Let's be honest. So I'm going to reattach this end to that other pin and probably I'm going to crimp it to start with, and then I will see if, I don't know what that other pin's made of. I'll do a scratch test on it. If it's brassy, I will solder it in. If it's not, I will just crimp it and hope for the best. But it'll be better than super glue, that's for sure. I mean, I'm going to say it's the first time I've ever seen that. I mean, it's not like I do a lot of choke work at all, to be honest. I think this is only the second or third car I've ever worked on that's ever had a carburetor. But, you know, injection life and all that. Right, I'm going to crack on.
One eternity later.
Right, well we all love a good side quest, don't we? So I've got the Fiesta in here, got the skim out. It's idling very, very low again, which, although it sounds absolutely wonderful, the automatic transmission is not happy at that idle. So I'm just going to try and wind the idle up a little bit. What do I do with my screwdrivers? Remember, it's all there somewhere. Fucking mesh ready. There you go. There's a flathead. So yeah, I'm just going to try and wind the idle up a little bit because it's very, very low again. Right, so side quest complete. I've got to open a beer. Yeah, I think there's a lot more. I mean, obviously you saw us messing around with it slightly the other day when I repaired the choke and everything. I got the choke all repaired, so the choke now works as it should do. I think in the past someone had pulled that choke. Someone had pulled that choke cable really hard and it just snapped it out the end. So resoldered that, got that all fixed, and I did get all the idle and everything sorted the other day. But then obviously you heard then. I mean, it sounds beautiful when it's blub 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 blub, you know, like a Cam 427 or something. But it shouldn't be like that. And then, like I say, you just heard it in traffic, it will stall. I'm kind of hoping it's not a gearbox issue. I don't think it is because it was adjusted fine the other day and now it's kind of out of sync. I wonder if the little spring that stops the idle screw winding back out has just lost its spring, essentially. So it's under the vibration, it is just sort of slowly winding itself back out. But it runs, it's drivable for the weekend, so that's good enough. And like I say, actually driving it, fine, no problem at all. It's only when you try and do like a 3-point turn or even stop-start traffic. So anyway, this, on this hand, let me show you where we got to. So, door is obviously painted, the window has gone back in. I still need a few rivets to go in, which I'll do in just a minute. I did get nice black rivets, and then as I've been putting them in, my gun's been scraping the black off of them. So I'll probably just get a little Sharpie and just colour them back in so that they blend in nicely. But door shuts beautifully, better than it ever has done. Obviously we've got the nice colour coordinated handle now with the nice grey, and then obviously we've got the grey at the back there, coming all the way down to the front with the swage line, real nice and fancy. And the inside, obviously not quite as fancy because it was just the inside of the door, but again it's all sorted. So I just now need to go through and just rivet this bottom half of the door up, stop it all rattling around. Once I've done that, I have got in here another Rally Design Special, a new rear view mirror. So that's going to mount up there somewhere, something like that. So I need to make up a couple of little aluminium tabs. So I've got some sheets of aluminium up there and a bit of aluminium angle and stuff. So I'll make up some little Lumi tabs, probably rivet those in and then nut and bolt that mirror in. So that's done. I did very disappointingly literally walk around the car the other day, take the cover off, and the cover caught on a wing mirror and snapped this wing mirror clean off. Which is not the end of the world because I was going to remake these anyway, so they sat in a better position. They just screw in, so I can still use like the mirror module and stuff. But yeah, it did snapped off. So we won't be going with that one. So I'm going to get that done, and then do you know, I've not even looked under here. I've not even looked under here since the last show. In theory. Oh yeah, I forgot to clip that back on so that I don't rip my bonnet off. In theory, everything under here is all still good, as it always was. The old beastie power plant. Turbo's still in one piece, still spins very nicely, all the boost hoses on. It's actually still quite clean under here from the last time we were out in it. So I'll probably just give it a quick wipe over, get some of these, like got these leaves and stuff where it was stored outside that have gone in there. Get those out of the way and just give it a once over. But importantly is to try and finish that window off. I'm in two minds as to whether I put this window back in or not. Because obviously you can see we painted the door and the door handle, but I haven't got round to doing the accent on the frame. And to be honest, I'm not going to get round to it. So I'm kind of wondering, do I just put the window in with a couple of rivets in each corner for now, just so that it's in, or do I just leave it out? But then it will obviously look a bit odd with that one missing. But then it also might allude to the fact that it's not finished. I don't know is the honest answer. I don't really know. I will probably work that out as we go along. Also, it needs a very good wash because it's filthy. I'm not going to do that tonight because it's dark out and I won't be able to see what I'm doing. So, right, I'm going to stop waffling. I'm going to get this window finished off and then we'll look at trying to get that rear view mirror in, shall we? Right, I gave up with that mirror, to be perfectly honest. It was frustrating me. I couldn't get it to sit right and I'm just not in the mood for it. So I've put it in that box up there on the shelf. And I will deal with that another day. What I have done instead, actually, is inside the car. Those of you that were watching, just climbing my jungle gym, hang on. For those of you who were watching a video a little while back where we took the Fiesta out and did a little bit more live mapping and a bit more testing and bits and pieces, we actually, I thought I'd broke the car. We were driving along and something started banging. So I'm going bang, 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 bang. I thought, that's it, I've done it, I've broken it. I thought it was the gearbox that I'd broken. It actually turns out, my little air conditioner up here, my little cheap $2.99 eBay fan, which I paid for about £13 from Euros for because I didn't want to wait for it to turn up, used to plug into this cigarette lighter down here. And actually what happened is the cigarette lighter had fallen out of there, gone down that drain hole there, and was bouncing around underneath the car on the road. And eventually it got smashed to smithereens and it stopped banging. I was like, oh, it's fixed itself. It just turned out it just smashed the plug to bits and it was no longer there. I didn't work that out till after we got home. Obviously I was quite concerned I'd broken the car for a little while, but all was good. Anyway, with this weekend planned to be about 29-30 degrees, I didn't really want to sit in this absolute sweat box with that not working. So what I've done is I've hardwired it into the car and put it on a switch. So basically now a little cable from there runs all the way around there, all the way around there, all the way down there, down the A pillar on the inside here, and then pops out down there into the fuse box. So now if I turn this on, got this little switch up here, and it works. Lovely. Blows nice cool air on my face whilst we're driving along, which is well, it works all right for a little while, and then the car just gets so hot it just kind of continues to blow hot air in my face and make the situation borderline worse, I guess. I don't know, but it is what it is. So yeah, I've wired that up, so that's off the list. Obviously the door is completely done, the mirror's done, the windows all riveted in, the latch and everything works. It closes so nicely now. I can literally just pull the door, he says, just because I've said to you it closes so nicely. It didn't close, did it? Literally just pull it shut. Oh, it's mugging me off. Try again, right. There we go, that's better. I was probably being a bit too gentle with it. But yeah, so now it sits nicely and there's a lot less flex in everything in here. It doesn't rattle like it used to, now that the window's kind of actually fixed in rather than just stuck in with silicone, or well, I think it was actually clear roof sealant before. But now that it's done properly, it doesn't rattle quite so much. I just need to work out, obviously, like I said earlier, what I'm doing about this little gap here, and go from there. So that's that. I have got no fuel in it at all, zero. I actually haven't even got enough fuel in it to get up to the petrol garage. So I'm probably going to quickly jump in the GTC, seeing as it's out there, and take my little jerry can up the road and go and get some fuel, so that I can put some petrol in it, so that I've got enough petrol to get to me into the petrol station on Sunday morning, so I can get to the show. Apart from that, there's a few other little bits and pieces that I need to sort out, but they're all kind of little odd sods that no one's really interested in. So I'm going to crack on with them off camera. So yeah, I mean, I might take you to the beer festival with me tomorrow, I might not, I don't know. So either I will see you tomorrow morning, or tomorrow morning / afternoon, about midday, when we're either at the beer festival, having time of our lives, obviously, or I will see you guys in a very hungover state on Sunday morning, when we jump in this and that, and shoot off to Kent Allfords, not Allfords, Kent Classics. Allfords was the last one. Right, stop waffling, see you in a minute.
Good morning, boys and girls. It's early. Too early. So, I'm leaving in about half an hour. I've not even packed the car up yet. Glad I stopped drinking when I did last night, because I feel okay this morning. To be honest, it could have been a lot worse. But there we go. And this one's good. This one's ready to go. I'll pull the Fiesta out. I could do with a wash really, because it's filthy, but probably not going to get time. I've got to get the gazebo out, the chairs out, get the car loaded up, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to start this up in a minute. It was really fucking hot last night, which meant all the neighbours have left all their windows open overnight. So yeah, sorry neighbours. Right, I'm going to get packed up. See you in a minute.
we've actually got some fuel. Good to go. Love the fuel gauge. Actually put my key back in it. Only making £9, so I think the cut's probably set a little bit low. Right, okay. Still quite fast enough. I need to plug the laptop in and make a few changes. Anybody, can I have a double bacon egg McMuffin meal with a bottle of water, please? That's it, mate, thank you. Right, well, boys and girls, that's going to do it for this video. I can't even see if I'm in the shop. Yes, I am. That's going to do it for this video. I didn't actually film a lot today. It's been about 90 million degrees. It's just been too hot, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I'm sitting in traffic now, the car's not running. I've got my little fan on, doing its trick. Yeah, so that's going to do it for this video. I know it's been a bit few and far between. I will promise to endeavour to get some more content on the way regularly. I've still got to get this door finished ready for Oso. Oso's in 15 days, so that'll probably be the next video. Oso Retro. But I will. I'll also do a video on us building up our new garage for the for Little Red. As well. So, as always, like, comment. Oh, we're moving. We're moving. Oh, we're moving. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.